Good morning, guys. It is 7 a.m., which is quite early for me. The garbage truck, if you can hear that, is right outside of my window. But today I'm filming a good old classic get ready with me before a beauty event. I used to do these all the time when I lived in Miami because there was a ton of beauty events and I would be very, very nervous before them. And obviously makeup is like my therapy. So just to calm myself, I would film myself doing my makeup for the event. Also because I find when I have these events and such, I just look my best. My makeup looks amazing. So I like to have this video evidence of what I was actually wearing. So we're gonna get ready together. I feel like this primer, we're already starting off on a back foot. This primer doesn't like my SPF. So I just applied Huda Beauty Easy Blur Primer, which that's the theme of today because I'm going to a Huda Beauty event. So I'm going to challenge, it's not really a challenge, but to stay on brand, on theme, I figured I'd pull out what Huda Beauty stuff I do have. I'm debating between which foundation I want to do today. The Easy Blur is actually one of the products they're promoting today, but I think I want to go with, no, we might as well go with the Easy Blur since I did do the Easy Blur Primer. I'm very excited about today's event with Huda Beauty. I've never been to a Huda Beauty event before. And let me tell you, the fact that they are coming all the way to DC is so exciting. DC doesn't really have many beauty events at all. I'm sure there's some that I've missed, but since I've lived here, I've only been invited to 2. So Miami, there would be like multiple in a week, especially during events like F1, Miami Swim Week. That's when events would really ramp up. So I was so excited to see, oh, DC got an event. Somebody's coming to DC, which is perfect for me because you guys know I'm super introverted. Like, I don't need to go to these events, but they're definitely very draining for me. But I always end up having a good time once I'm there. So the fact that they're coming to DC, I definitely have to show up. The problem is, you know, it was amazing when I lived in Miami because I lived in the heart of the city. Yeah, nah, I am a suburban girl now. So getting into DC is a pain in the booty, but I am going to face it. Gonna drive to the metro, take the metro into DC. I am going to attend this event. I'm very, very excited. Can't remember what I'm wearing, like what the neckline situation is. I want to put some on my neck. Let's just do it. It's kind of dark and dreary and a little rainy out. I hope it stops. I hate driving in the rain. This foundation is quite pretty, no? I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows off camera. It's the usual Rare Beauty brow gel. Fill in the sparse areas with the brow pencil. Just prepped the brows and the eyelid because I pulled out a goodie, like an oldie but a goodie. I had to, I couldn't help myself. The Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. This is one of the first palettes, but they ended up remastering it, so it's the remastered one. And I've only used it a handful of times. Obviously, they don't sell this anymore. But I don't know, I'm really excited. I actually want to keep the eye makeup pretty light. With it being a rainy day, I just don't feel like having a very heavy face. So I'm gonna take some of Demure, topped my brush off, and this is gonna be my crease shade for today. It has a rosy undertone. One thing about Huda Beauty is they are not afraid to fail as a brand. I know she just this past year retook ownership of the brand, so things are changing. I mean, they've kicked out so many products that were initially in the line, so a lot of the products that I have for today's video aren't even sold by Huda Beauty anymore. I was going through picking all of the products for today's video and I was like, oh, they don't sell this anymore and they don't sell this anymore. So I have a lot of old products from their line that aren't sold. But honestly, since it is a Huda Beauty themed video, it's still fun. The one product that I'm missing that I'm upset about, that I just got rid of because it was old and I meant to repurchase and I never did. And I don't know if they sell it on the Huda Beauty website, but when I was checking, they actually don't even sell it on Sephora anymore, is the Tantour. cream bronzer, so I'm not going to use cream bronzer today. I need to do something with my nose though, so I might pop something non-Huda Beauty on. There's a couple non-Huda Beauty products that I'm going to need to use here. I'm going to take just like a tap of cocoa, not too much, just because I want a little bit more depth in the outer corner. I want to keep today's look light, like I said, but a little depth never hurt nobody. And cocoa's like a warm brown. I had an idea for an outfit today, but it's kind of cold out, so I really don't know what I'm gonna do. And I gotta figure it out because I gotta leave in an hour and a half, which sounds like a lot of time, but for me, it's not. Especially since I decided to film a whole video. Like, even though it doesn't take too much time out of my day to film a Get Ready With Me, it still takes longer because I'm talking. Must use Pink Diamond. One of the prettiest shades in this palette. And I'm just going to put this in the middle of the lid because it is still on my skin tone, like a medium depth. It's not bright and light like I want it to be, but I want the pinky shimmies. The pinky shimmies. So I'm putting that in the center and pushing it out to the outer. Even though this palette is old, it seems to me that it is holding up in quality. And that's what you pay for with higher quality eyeshadows. They tend to last a lot longer, hold the integrity of the formula when you first bought it. Because that first unremastered palette definitely dried out super fast. Okay, and then we're gonna go into Bubbly. And that's gonna be the inner shade for the remainder of the lid. So it's 7:30 right now. At 8 o'clock, no matter what part I'm at, I need to stop and eat a little something. The end of an era, you guys. Huda Beauty is done with these big palettes, but I really did like her color stories. Repetitive or not, the whole vibes of the palette were also always gorgeous. Okay, do I want to do eyeliner? There's not like a good brown for me to use. Well, I'll use cocoa and then deepen it just a bit with black truffle because I don't want to go full black. This is why I didn't do, I went full black anyways. That did not mix at all. Anyways, I guess we're going black. That's fine. This is why I didn't do concealer, because of fallout. Love you guys, but I cannot talk while doing eyeliner, so give me a minute. Continuing on with our under eyes, I'm using the Faux Filler Corrector. I'm just gonna do a tiny bit today. I want to lighten up on the amount of concealer that I use. This a little went a long way though. Okay, already have more than I thought I was gonna have. But I did have some blue that I don't want showing through with certain lighting. I'm gonna put my Faux Filler Concealer in the shade Vanilla Swirl in the back of my hand. And I'm using this technique that I got from a TikTok tutorial where you really push the product into the brush, get the excess product off on a clean spot on the back of your hand so you don't have too much product under the eyes. And it's true, when you have a thinner amount of product on the under eyes, it's going to wear better. Less is more today, hopefully, with whatever's left. If I have any extra redness or anything that needs covered, I'm just gonna use whatever's left on the back of my hand. And then I don't have cream contour, so I'm just gonna use this CoverGirl, quite gray. I don't know if I want to use this too much because I want to use it for a little nose contour just for some photos, you know. That'll work. Wait, that's a very contoury contour. What is this shade? Defined. And sometimes these look too gray on me, shades like this, but this looks good. Okay, then I'm just gonna blend it out using my Patrick Ta brush. Okay, I'm not mad at that. For a little something on the nose, I'm gonna use the blush filter. I'm trying to decide which shade would be best. We'll do Strawberry Cream. I'm again gonna put this on the back of my hand, get it embedded in this brush, and let's apply it. I don't like love or hate these blushes. I'm kind of indifferent about them. They get the job done and that's what matters, but I don't think, you know, they're the greatest blush I've ever used. So a lot of people do love this blush. That's why I'm mentioning that. No, and I like it, but it shears out. It's quite pretty. Well, that will do. Normally at this point, I would be super nervous for events like this, being the introvert that I am, and I literally have no clue who would be invited to this. There's not a big beauty influencer scene in DC, or influencers at all. I mean, they exist, of course, they're gonna be everywhere, but like, I wonder who would be invited to this. I'm excited to see. You already know Huda Beauty has my all-time favorite setting powder, so I'm gonna use the shade Pound Cake, and this is gonna get my under eyes right and tight. Very happy it's a Huda Beauty event because it's a perfect excuse to use my favorite powder, which I would have used anyways. It's just so lightweight. You don't feel anything and it's super blurry. What to get right here, forehead, beautiful. I think that's all we're gonna do for setting powder. And then I do have some bronzer options, all of which they no longer sell, but I have the Glowish Soft Radiance, and then I also like to use the Glowish Luminous powders as bronzer, but we'll use the Glowish bronzer. It has this beautiful marbling effect. Like I said, I really wish I still had the cream Tantour. This is not doing much on me. It takes a lot of building up. I need a synthetic fiber brush is what I need. This is synthetic though. Let me use a real hairbrush. That's what I meant. I feel like this might have some hard pan on it. Oh yeah. This picked up so much better. Now this is such a pretty soft kiss of color. It's very, very nice. Just gives the prettiest, lightest wash. Do you guys still have yours? Did you keep yours? Get underneath here. But that luminous powder, I'm kind of sad because I love these for bronzers on a very natural day. Then whatever is left on your brush, a little bit on the nose, just for some cohesion. And then let's go back to the eyes. We're just gonna use Demure. I'm not gonna do anything crazy here. Just add some definition. When you put some depth down here, if you have like fine lines like me, this will help hide them. And then a little bit of cocoa, which I'm gonna keep a little tighter to the lash line. I need to get a highlight. Do I have one in front of me? This isn't a traditional highlight, but I'm lazy and this is what's in front of me. This works as a highlight. This is from e.l.f. It's the Halo Glow powder filter. I just want to do this before I forget. So you can see it also brightens a little bit. It's not a traditional highlight, but really, really natural. I just put this in a powder rankings video if you want to check it out, but with a dense brush like this is a Sigma E61. You see how this adds glow without being like shimmery? Really beautiful. It's really nice to put on the face where you just want a little bit of glow and brightness without being too much like a highlighter. That was perfect for that. I'm gonna go in with my brush. I'm gonna focus mostly in cocoa now, and I gotta do my little wing. I do this for all events. I just love what it does to the shape of my eye. Huh, this one turned out brown, but this one turned out black. My mixing of shades didn't mix very well. And then for a little bit of a dewier set, I'm using the Ulta Beauty Collection Dewy Glaze Setting Spray. You know Huda Beauty does have a new setting spray out now, but I'm not that big of a fan of it, so I'm gonna use this. And while that dries down, I'm gonna go ahead and do my lashes off camera. I don't have any Huda Beauty mascara or lashes anymore. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I'll tell you when I get back. Boom! Lashes. Lancome Monsieur Big Lancome Definitions. Probably should have done something waterproof, as I will probably be walking in the rain, but that's okay. Ardell for 20s. No, I wasn't born with these beauties. They are a full strip lash. And I'm waiting for that to dry before I seal the deal with a little bit of a curl. For lip today, I don't have too many Huda Beauty lip products. Do you remember when they were like the go-to brand for lips, liquid lipsticks to be exact? I'm gonna use the lip contour in pinky brown, and then the full filler gloss in bombshell. I think that will look, no. Let's do the Ube Baby. And I do love, capital L, love these lip liners. It's $7.59. Going a little over my time limit. I'm gonna fill in a little bit with this. You know, I feel like I always show up and show out for these events. Today's makeup is like normal for me. No, actually, it is pretty. I don't know. What do you think? It's because it's raining. I just didn't want to go crazy. Okay. Gloss. I should have done my nails. Why did I not do my nails? Okay, I'm gonna take my lash curler from Shiseido and I'm just gonna lightly press. I'm not like going all in, but just to put my natural and falsies together. And then for longevity, we're gonna need this. Oh my god, this is gonna suck. I hate applying this, but I want this to last all day, so I'm using Until Dawn, and it will. It makes it waterproof. Oh, it burns. Okay. Oh, I'm crying now. Give me a second. Okay, and here's my look today. Okay, you know, with the done hair, right? That looks good. What a pretty springy look. And you know what I don't think I even mentioned in today's video? Because I'm like, I mean, I'm not that nervous, but you know, I'm anticipating this event. It's actually my birthday today. It's May 14th, not the day that you're watching this, but I turned 29 today. My last year in my 20s. But yeah, I'm actually really excited. It lined up well. I'm really excited that the Huda Beauty event is today because it's a good excuse to go into the city, get some Levain cookies, and go to Maman or something that catches my eye in the city. So it works out. So Jose is coming with me, not to the event, but he's gonna metro it in with me when the event is over. So that was one of the talking points that I had for today's video, and I didn't even hit it. Yeah, it's also a birthday day. So this is my birthday glam as well, which it turned out really pretty. I was doubting it for a second there, but I like it. It's like really subtle pinky tones. I actually do want to add a little bit more of a bright pink. Hold on. Let me dig into my arsenal, aka my speed reviews drawer. I just want like a hint more pink. So I just have this Catrice Pleasing Pink, which could be way too pigmented. So we're just gonna, I just want like a little bit on the apple. Yeah. This is pulling it together. Should I even have powder blushes? I don't think so. But the liquid blush got a little washed away with all of the powder on top. Gorgeous birthday glam, full face of Huda Beauty. That's all I have for today's video. I am sure I had great fun at the event. We're just gonna post what I got right here. A lot of you guys don't know this, but I'm actually from Maryland. I know I lived in Miami for a few years, but I moved back last year to Maryland. In Miami, there was beauty events all the time and almost never in DC. So the fact that Huda Beauty came to DC was a big deal. So much so that I showed up on my birthday. I had to metro in, so I did a shoe change. And along the way, the humidity completely got rid of my curled hair. But it was worth the journey. See, Huda was there in spirit. We were making floral arrangements today, but had to get acquainted with the space first, of course. There's always an opportunity to play with their products at these events. They have my favorite setting powder. Journey had me sweaty, so I had to pull out my own powder. It had me looking disheveled from my hair to my face. So they found out it was my birthday and I really was not gonna tell anybody. No! The introvert in me was dying, but this was so sweet. Thank you to the Huda Beauty team. If there was one lesson that I took home from today though, it's that I see why floral arrangements are so expensive because I didn't know what was going on. It was a whole hour of me just zhuzhing things around and it's still looking ugly. Funny story, one time my husband spent like $200, $300 on a bouquet for me and I was like, look, this is gorgeous, but never do that again. So he's been making my bouquets for me ever since, so now I can give him some tips, right? This place gave us the most beautiful flowers to work with, so there honestly was no way this was gonna turn out bad. They wrapped her up for me and sent me on my way home. I walked the streets to lunch being weighed down by this giant bouquet, but I headed over to Maman. I wanted a matcha and a chicken Caesar wrap. And that's all I have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. As always, I will have all of the products that I use tagged and linked down below for you guys. A huge thank you to Huda Beauty for inviting me to this event and coming to DC. And turned out I did love the look. So, very happy about that. Bye guys, have a good one.